Okay, I see other guys are already telling me that's all good. Yes, so we have pretty much a lot of people joining today. So thanks for joining us today. And we have this year our Teltonika Mobility last webinar, and it's all about the indoor tracking and navigation and how our units are utilizing this functionality and helping to get that indoor navigation ready. Yes, so my name is once again Gediminas Mikalainis. I'm Chief Marketing Officer at Teltonika, and today we will be introducing you the top features of indoor navigation. I just also would like to remind you that in the chat or in the questions and answers session, we have our engineers that will be answering your technical questions and how our devices are working. So please feel free to ask engineers the questions you have about our devices and how that's working. So also at the end of the webinar, we will be reviewing those questions. If some of those will not be answered live during the presentation, so we will cover that at the end of the webinar. Yes, so going further, we have the agenda, what we will be speaking about today. So we will cover the indoor tracking and navigation introduction, as I mentioned you already, key features and benefits, statistics and overview, what's the market growth, what's the benefits, and how the market is shaping. We will overview topologies, use cases, battery capabilities, which probably will be most interesting stuff to hear, and we will review the configuration. So let's not wait and start right away. We will cover two devices. So for indoor tracking and navigations, it requires to have two devices. So GH5200 Worker Batch Plus and ELA beacon, right? So with these two, you can have this functionality ready. So not only the device have this functionality, it all starts with the worker badge and its key features: voice, man down, no movement, which is really important in indoor navigation, right? And most importantly, the BLE beacon support, which can host up to 100 beacons. So that's you can pretty much set up those beacons all over your office or all over your factory and have those units set up. Let's go deeper into these two devices. So most of you probably already know Worker Badge. So this device not only provides and supports indoor navigation, but as well has voice communication, as I mentioned, man down, no movement. Recent functionality and the use case we also set up with our partners in Russia, it's a helmet detection with the ID BLE beacons, as well as you can put the employee ID and get the location of device not only inside but as well as the outside. And as for ELA beacon, what we have these beacons and we are using these partners for a long time now. And those beacons are inexpensive, have 5 years battery lifetime, up to 200 meters transmission of the signal, and are waterproof. And you can set up various data intervals to be communicated on with these Bluetooth beacons. It offers low cost, energy efficient, and easy to deploy indoor navigation and tracking technology. So that helps you easily locate your goods or your people or your person, so indoor the facilities. Let's move further and cover the key benefits of our devices and how this joint solution is working. So we have location. It's not only inside the building, it's as well as outside the building. So for example, if you trying to locate some goods or people inside the housing, and if he leaves the territory, you get the notification instantly. Moreover, you get the exact GPS coordinates, and as well, while this unit is outside the facilities or whatever office there is, you get the notifications, you get the location outdoor. So it's joint venture. Most of the competitors, for example, have this indoor navigation, but they struggle to get the outdoor navigation as well in the same solution. So they are trying to use two different devices because they are not covering that. So we, as a company, as a mobility, we figure out that solution of the indoor navigation. We can come up with the ELA beacons. Yeah. As well, it does not require GPS connection. The location can simply be achieved with the Bluetooth and GSM beacons. So you can get approx location, not exact location, of course, because the Bluetooth have some kind of discrepancies in the location, RSI signals, and you don't need any complex gateway systems. For example, if, for example, you have a beacon set up all over the warehouse, you need some gateways to communicate those beacons. So you have to set the whole infrastructure has to be set up in your warehouse, factory, or wherever you're willing to use your indoor navigation solution. So that requires as well a lot of manual work, a lot of jobs to do. Of course, there are companies who are only doing this, but comparing to that, it's easy to implement. Get the unit set up with the BLE beacon, put the beacons all over your warehouse, and that's it. Yes, I see. So that two participants, raised the hand. So if you can pop the questions in the chat, I would appreciate that. We will try to answer those for you. Yes, and energy efficient solutions, I will cover later on during my webinar to introduce how the battery is being summed up. I'm testing those devices myself in the office, at the home, and in the factory. We're using different time intervals, so I'll cover you that later on. Yes, so most importantly, this is the solution that perfectly fits for indoor and outdoor navigation. With one device, outdoors, GPS cover the location. So where the problem comes from and why we're touching this at the end of the year, and why we are facing this and how the market is shaping. This is what we have and what it's currently being formed and what would be the expectation. So currently the market size is up to 7 billion of indoor navigation, as well as it's expected to grow probably near to 3 times more in the upcoming 5 years. So we have a yearly growth of 22%, but I think it could be even more because right now more and more proximity security is coming to the offices, to the factories, and all of the employees want to ensure the safety of their employees and willing to integrate these indoor navigation solutions. So North America only is expected to hold the largest market share during the forecasted period, right? So the region is the leader, and technological advancements they're willing to proceed with the Bluetooth for indoor navigation and make that accuracy even more accurate that there is today. Furthermore, rise in demand for the personal tracking devices and solutions among various places such as shopping malls, airports, hotels, universities. So the growth in the market of hospitality is enormous, right? There we see that there's a lot of attacks in the hotels. There violence happening sadly, but violence happening in most of the hospitality areas, especially the hotels, and this is helping to locate those people and help them in case of a need, right? As well as retail industries booming up, countries as China, India, Japan, because of the increased penetration and the growth application of the indoor positioning systems, right? COVID, as well as the COVID faced us to and pushed us further to increase the market, and that's the functionality and the solutions what we are seeing in the market and booming, right? So increased tracking of the contracts, proximity exposures requirements, so that's have opened more opportunities for companies to invest, to see how they can utilize the solution, right? Teltonika cover all of these cases mentioned above. And so let's go deeper into those use cases and what I have mentioned earlier, and we'll see how the indoor tracking could be used in the real life. Sorry, I'll just yes, going further on the use cases, what we have oil refinery factory. So this particular use case came from our partners in Russia. What they're doing in the oil refinery, they're using these devices for valves detection for the particular areas, entering, leaving those areas. The coins are all over the place, so they also can detect the helmet removement, and this is a really well set up use case. So we could also get you some more additional information, of course, if the customer agrees to share that information with us. But I hope he will. And we could give you this success story, how this are being managed with as well indoor and outdoor navigation to see, because this requires a lot of security, helmet wearing, valves connections, valves opening, closing, doors opening, closing, right? So this is the one of the use cases we are promoting at the moment to give you the idea where this could be utilized. So this perfectly sums up the full solution of our device. If you have also questions, pop that in the chat. If our engineers will not answer, I will cover that at the end of our call. Moving further, we have a totally different use case, hospital employees monitoring, right? So this we could monitor as well as entering the decided areas, decided the spaces with the equipment, monitor the employees and doctors moving throughout the floors in case to send the personnel immediately to emergency situations. So that's as well can be monitored with the location. Also, what I want to mention that it's not only about the employees monitoring or the doctors monitoring whether they're going throughout the floors, but as well, at the same time, you can monitor the location of some goods, of some equipment, to see which floor it's exactly are, right? So that's helps you and gives you another reason to monitor the goods with these beacons. Going further, we have hotel, and this particular hotel indoor tracking is another popular use case that receives more and more attention. The solution can be used to immediately send personnel to locations, whether it's up needed. So in case of emergency, for example, security personnel can get direct communication with from the TMT to GH, and it gets you the exact communication of whether in which floor you need to go and provide some help for the cleaning personnel, right? So more and more cleaning personnel are being attacked. So imagine there's like thousands of rooms in one hotels, and how many cleaners there are, and all of those are being abused. So we are trying to help those out and see in which floor, which room the beacon are. So this is the hospitality business. It's really a risky business for those employees. So we want to give you the idea on where this device can be used to track the people inside and outside the hotel. So also the employee, it's not about the tracking them, it's about the security of those employees. So it's abuse, it's in the hotel business is huge. The market is on this area, and the problematic of this area, it's huge, and people are trying to find different solutions how to solve the issues in this particular market. Going further, we have various use cases in factories, and factory is one of them, as well as in Teltonika EMS factory. We have also filmed the video on the proximity, and right now we are willing to have these beacons set up all over the factory to see in which area which personnel went. So we are taking we are being fully precautious to take full responsibility and track those contacts in various areas of the factory. So these are the main use cases what we right now covered. Some of those are being already utilized, so we will try to get you some photos if that's possible and provide you during the and after the webinar. So stay tuned for that. Yes, I mentioned earlier we have battery lifetime, and this table sums it up pretty much. And I like the lifetime what I see. I tested the one personally myself in the office, and charged the unit. See how it works, walked over the room, walked between the floors. The device was scanning for Bluetooth signal all the time, and detecting the beacons which are in various floors. So imagine we have as well in our floors, we have engineers who have tons of beacons on the table laid out, and they are tracking and getting these notifications on the GH, and the GH is always scanning. So the Bluetooth signal always on. Also myself, I was going through the floors, and some of the time I was sitting, some of the time I was going around. So this device lasted up to 13 hours. Also, I want to note that the static navigation was always on. So when the device is laying down, call me on the table, then it sends the last known location of the GPS. So GPS is not turned on, So it's saving the battery. So this could be up to 2 to 3 hours approximate right time, but I think it could last up to 13 hours in case of you are in the office. And note that the record sending was every minute, so it's pretty high intensity of record sending. The scanning is always on. Yes, and as well on the factory, you don't need that much of data sending since the employee is probably in the one room the full day. So this configured the device was sending data every 10 minutes. As well, the same time, the static navigation was on, but you can see the total difference. It's 7 hours more. So this device also laid a lot of time on the table. Static navigation is on, so GPS was not on, right? So this is saving battery time. In this case, we have the unit that lasts up to 10 hours, up to 20 hours. Of course, there's also 2 to 3 hours discrepancies in it, but I think it's more accurate than it was and presented earlier to you in our earlier presentation. So you could have pretty much a good overview on how long the battery lasts in the indoor navigation, scanning the Bluetooth all the time. Yes, going further on the use cases, what I have mentioned earlier, the particular topologies, how it's working, we have covered some other use cases where these devices could be utilized. So we have hospitals, we have hotel workers, as I mentioned earlier, factories, and office. Yeah, so this also not only gives you the indoor navigation, but can be utilized as the proximity monitoring solution. So quick access to precise location, indoor location based on services to deliver proximity, as well as workflow optimization, asset and personal tracking. So that's applied to many great use cases, what we have mentioned earlier. And going further, we have some more additional. So it's logistics, shopping malls, as I mentioned in the beginning, where it has been mentioned. Airports, another interesting use cases, since they're the employees and a lot of airports employees, and with increased security, not to deliver COVID in these hard times, and as well as warehouses, right? So how this solution works, we introduced you the full solution, and that we deliver the solution, but there's one thing that Teltonika provides. So what's its Teltonika side and what's its customer side? So we need to define these two and to see and help you to understand what you need to do by yourself and what we can provide from Teltonika side. So Teltonika provides tracking hardware and beacons. These beacons collect information from the area and collect data packages. These data packages being sent to your server side and data storing, right? And you have to process that data yourselves. Either it's integrated via protocols, either it's integrated via with our partners Flespi. So it doesn't matter how these data packages being received. So there's the full description in Flespi how these data packages can be worked with, and mapping and software, it's your business. This is what you do. This is how you do the mapping, as well as our partners Flespi and Gurtam can do the mapping themselves. And I have no doubt that you have this similar solution with your software. This is your know-how, and this is how you take money. So we provide the data, you provide the end solution to the customer, combining everything in one piece and delivering the mapping and software and taking the monthly fees. So this is what we want to pursue, and this is what we want that you would deliver to your customer with our help and our data. I hope this part is clear. So let's move further to the configuration. So about the configuration. First, the device Bluetooth settings needs to be configured. These are the required steps. Press the button settings, as you see this GIF. Turn on the Bluetooth radio, press the beacon tab list, select all or configured. See for the preference of your beacons. In the beacon detection option, if you have selected configured, to see preferred beacons. So you must add beacons to the beacons list over there. Yes, and select periodic option. select periodic settings according to your device needs. After all these steps, let's move to the beacons list tab, right? So select all or configured in beacon detection options. If you have selected configured to see preferred beacons, you must add beacons to the beacon list. Select periodic option, set periodic settings according to your needs, and save to device. Now you can see the detected beacons list and status beacons list. I hope that makes sense. I can go run through once again the configuration, but we can go further on these steps. So just turn on the Bluetooth radio by pressing enable. I hope you did that already, understand that. Also, we will try to prepare some short GIFs or videos, how to better understand how to configure that. So you can easily set up the beacons list and add beacons and periodic how to configure it easier. So it's not that much rocket science, right? You see that our configurator for some of you might be difficult, but we are trying to make as simple as possible for you to understand how this works. Once again, this is how you see the beacons. As well, there in our wiki page, we can share with you the information on how these beacons can be configured with the application, so that would make your job way more easier. And that's it. For now, the beacons introduced, device introduced, use cases introduced, a battery lifetime introduced. What else have left is the, if you want to order this solution, I will leave this QR code for you to order, for you to understand. Whatever you like to do it right now. And also, I would like to ask you to follow our LinkedIn profile, follow our Facebook profile, and as well subscribe to our newsletter. I know that some of you subscribe, some of you don't. So I would like to get more and more your attention to us, because we are sharing a lot of interesting information through our social media channels, as well as newsletters. We are giving the updates, we are giving the new devices announcement, we are giving the new functionality announcement, we are giving product change notifications. So we are very, very active on our social media. We are active on how we are communicating with you. So also another thing, if you would like to be featured with us or be featured with our partners, let us know. We'll push you up as well through our social media. We'll note you as our partner. We will deliver you some good ideas. We will deliver you some use cases, success cases. We will feature you on our page. We will send you a newsletter. So we want to help you to grow your community as well, to grow your customer base.